Hi everyone. Okay,
Hello.
welcome back to the channel. The
Hi,
person
hi.
right next to me is none other than Jenny. Is a founder, is a creator, is also a YouTuber from Jenny Tang channel. Jenny, do you want to introduce yourself a bit?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jenny Tang, or you can call me Jen Tang. All right. So I'm actually from IQI Elite Team based in KL. And I've been in the industry for about 3 years plus now. And prior to that, I'm actually working in the training industry, but in credit reporting line. So basically, credit reporting line here, I think most of you would know secrets, CTOS, that kind of field. Yeah, and yeah, I'm really honored to be invited to be in this channel with my leader, Aaron. I learned so much from him personally.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Hey, Jenny. I mean, you're from credit reporting industry, that field, right? That's what I say, C3, CTOS, right? And you came
Mhm.
over to real estate, right? I'm sure that both of this industry is like totally different. I mean, the client that you met, one is actually like more to corporates, and ours one
Mm,
is more like mass markets. Everyone can be your clients. So,
mm,
how do you adapt? To me, it's a big change lah for corporates to a sales line. Okay, from a corporate where you know what you need to do. Okay, there is somebody that give you the guidance. And came over here is a yes. You also know you want to. You also know that what you need to do. Okay, all the things that you need to complete. But it's more to like managing your own business kind of thing, right? You don't
mm.
get salary, you don't get paid where you don't have sales and all these things. And how do you manage yourself and how do you manage to go through this?
Yeah, I think initially the trigger point of me switching from a corporate job to all
Hmm.
the way to real estate industry without any basic is first of all the personal interest in property investment. So I actually asked a bit of questions on with my colleague, I mean my friend who is also in real estate. That actually purely from property investment interest. And then I probe further in terms of her work, and it really sounds really interesting to me because back in my corporate job, right, I learned so much from my previous company, by the way. But a lot of things are like normal company policy. You have a certain structure, and your mind framer has been always stuck in an SOP, right?
Yep.
You have to
Yep.
do things that way, that way. It's not to say not good, but when I explore the way my colleague do things back then, I see that a lot of things she managed herself, and there are a lot of things that you cannot rely on someone. You just have to manage yourself, and that really trigger my interest because that way I will force myself to grow my mindset or grow the way I handle myself. And then when I do a comparison like that, many times I think back then I stuck my mindset or the way I think has been always stuck with a certain structure. And
Yep.
when I jump out of the industry, you're on your own. You don't have basic. And I find that the most interesting part is that the moment when you do not rely on the next pay, every time you rely on the next pay, then you rely too much on that. So at first, of course, it was quite challenging and you're not used to it. But after a while, you learn how to manage yourself independently. You grow so creative to grow your business, and you find yourself, I don't rely on someone paying me. So
Yeah.
that makes me so keen about and so passionate about my job.
It's just
Yeah.
like you don't have a boundaries that bound you within that you can only do
Yeah.
things within this boundary. You can like, based on the creativity, based on your idea, based
Yeah.
on everything that you wanted to try, you can actually put it into a try and
Yeah.
eventually you will
That's
see
right.
probably you'll see result. And sometimes you may fail, but from there you learn. So I think
Mm.
this is an interesting part about being an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good stepping stone for you to train yourself to be entrepreneur. And in fact, we are all entrepreneur,
By,
right?
by the way, I think like Jenny is like if I will be a newbie in this industry or even I be an experienced agent in this industry, right, I'll have a
Mm.
lot to learn from Jenny, like being entrepreneurship now. But like for those who are actually watching our live, right? I just need you to do one thing, okay? Help us to share to as much people as possible, to as many channels as possible, because later on, Jenny will actually share out, the hidden secrets, the secrets that, I think, I trusted her for a long time just to share out the secrets and how she managed to close deal during MCO. And it's just not during with the so-called how, but it's also the process, the mindset, the breakthroughs, and everything that after Jenny has shared the so-called secret ingredient with me, right? I kind of like, wow, it's like a very eye-opening experience. And I hope more people are actually learning about this, and you were doing very well after you see how Jenny do it. And it's also a role model, something that you can actually become a model for you to how to actually put it in your own business, right? Jenny,
Thank you. Yeah.
how do you judge your personality? Are you a person that you are introvert or you're like extrovert?
Now that is a very interesting question. Because just now, right, when I introduced myself, I actually mentioned that previously I was in a training role, trainer. Yeah, so my job requires me to speak with a lot of people, speak in the crowd to the public. Yeah, and very immediate personality that you would think of is an extrovert, right? And in fact, today when I'm doing sales, everyone when they talk to me, they will think that, oh, you're extrovert, you're outgoing person. But I just want to say that actually I'm really, really extremely introvert and a shy person. So people who know me closely from young, they will know lah. So that is actually a challenge. So that's why moving from this one actually even triggers the point where I have to train myself to I'm introvert, but in order to do things or get things done or in the pathway of being successful in any goal, you need
Okay.
to do any change in that kind of personality.
So it's like adapt to the changes. Like you don't live in who you are, but you need to
Mm,
improve. Like even
mm,
but having said that, right?
mm,
What do you think about your strength and also your weaknesses? I think like different
mm.
people have different strength weaknesses, but what do you think about you yourself?
Okay. One point that I would very fortunately, I think the strength of mine will be, I think it's always putting things systematically. Like, for example, during the MCO period, I mean, it was a shock to all of us. So initially, I was like shocked too. I don't know what to do, and a lot of our friends also like quite worried. But I think one thing that I did right was putting emotions aside, and also putting action plans systematically. So I will always ask myself the kind of questions where, what does it take for me to get that thing done, or if I want to close sales, so what does it take for me to close sales? So I think of that kind of mindset, then I build a mindset, and then I come up with a structure planning. What is the to-do list, things to do? And then I will think about what are the skills needed for me to complete that kind of task. And then I just put the emotion aside and I just do. Yeah, that's what I think really helps me a lot. Yeah.
So basically, you are like when things happen, you don't go panic, you don't go emotional. You're actually putting things into the systematic, see what are the thing, what sort of way that you can do to solve it, and then like
Yeah.
you go into the action plan immediately. You don't go into emotional like things happen, and then you just go around complaining, blaming, which I
Yeah.
think
Thank God.
human nature, I would say human nature, usually they will start to complain, blaming, or maybe just to look and see, what's other are doing.
Yeah.
But I think that's exactly a very good strength that you have it.
Yeah. I think it's normal for people to feel stressed or
Yeah,
worried or sad.
precisely.
But it's really important to know the turnover period has to be as fast as possible.
True.
Yeah. You need
Like
to
you
quick.
don't stay on to the emotion for too long. Like you won't get any better, right? You'll
Yes.
be always forever give you a lot of noises in between your ear that you're
Mm.
communicating with yourself, and that will be the false communications. Like I have things happen, it can go worse and da da da. Like if you don't do anything, things really can go worse. However, when you put it into action plan, you laid out a very clear action plan. Thing
Yeah.
can because you actually change, you start to see opportunity, you start to see
Mm.
possibility and all these things, and you start to working on something else, and you'll see results soon, right?
Yeah, that really helps me a lot.
Yeah.
And I think my weakness will be none other than being really shy. I mean, I really
I really think that your weakness has been improved tremendously. You know, since everyone that I met you, like you kind of like sitting aside. You don't really mix around. You know, that's what like day one, day two, or week one. You know, but
Yeah.
today I think you are like more to people person. You speak to everyone. You communicate. You connect with anyone. Am I right?
Yeah. I think that's also very fortunately I realized the importance of it, and then I quickly make changes. So it's not about your initial whether you are what kind of personality are you. You can change. I believe everyone can change. Yeah.
So, okay, can I ask you one question? Like, do you see
Yeah.
yourself like improve a lot? Like, because in this sales, we are like, in sales industry, we cannot afford to be shy, right? Like, we have to
Mm.
go approach client, we have to call them, we get them out with appointment, and then we explain to them. And in all element, we cannot afford to be shy. But how you move on so fast, like from a shy person to
Mm.
have to go through everything and then become like less shy
Mm.
or more outgoing, How you manage to do that?
How do I manage to switch that personality? Yeah.
Yeah, switch
So,
that perspective.
yeah. I think that one, right, which I personally share with you, actually switching personality in sales line is really, really important. In fact, I think in any industry, you will have your own personality, but
Definitely.
what it takes for you to um, make that deal or do that job, then you need to study what kind of personality and analyze it systematically and ask yourself, how can I do that? So even back in my training industry, it's the same. I mean, I have got stage fright at first, but I think one thing that helps me a lot is to have the mindset of the courage to take the first step. It may not be good, or it turns out very awkward, but if you don't do the first step, you won't improve. So in sales line also the same, because back then I was in training. So when I moved to sales, real estate, sales and marketing, um, I have to deal with one to one, and that requires a lot of people skills, which I'm so scared. I don't like to talk to people, but
Yeah.
I try to break the ice lah. So I read, and then I ask around and see, and I observe the top closer. How do they build rapport? And then I start doing. So it's again about action. So at first, right, it turns out very awkward. For example, if I want to break a joke, and then I'm the only one laughing. Yeah, but then for every sales that I've closed, I will build that kind of rapport and have the courage to ask my customer, what makes you buy from me? Is it the product? Definitely the product plays an important role, but I will also ask, what do you think of my service, and how I carry myself, all that. So I really grow based on feedback and observance of how what I observe top closer. Yeah. I bring up
So
their good traits and try to train myself.
apply and then put it like when you learn from it and then you use it, as as
Yeah.
what imply to it. And I
Yes.
really feel that what you say right and you done right is actually you ask your client, because from there you can really learn about what is good in you. Because a lot of time, a lot of people they become less confident because they know what is like weakness in them. They put so much focus in their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you know your weaknesses and you know how to improve to it is important. However, if you know your weaknesses and you being defeated by your weaknesses, it becomes less confident. It's like, yeah, I cannot, I'm a shy person. I don't think I can do well in any sales, You can in another way, you can speak the language like this, but I think you don't. Okay, you try to improve it. You know that I cannot, even though I'm shy, but I need to see how other top sales they can conquer this. What are the mindset that they have it? What are the technique that they have it? So you
Mm.
actually learn copy and paste, so to speak,
Yeah.
and improve it all the time, right? So you
Yeah.
see, a lot of people they have less confidence just
Mm.
because they are not truthful to their own weakness. They always want to run away from their weakness. They know this is their weakness, okay? And it's being very natural that people going away and just to want to escape away from a witness, and forever your witness will be there. It won't go away. Only you yourself go away. The witness will not go away, right? So
Yeah.
in order to minimize the voices, okay, and turn the witness to be your strength, is to look at it and say, look, this is my witness. I know it. I admit it, and then I find a way to actually do something so that I improve. I improve over the time. It's just like a master. It can
Yeah.
start small, but you develop it, and sooner or
Mm.
later, one fine day, it becomes the strongest muscle that you have, and it
Yeah.
eventually it removed because it removed by developing it. It's not removed by not seeing it. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really true. I totally agree because when I started to, the first step of improving is always feeling the cruel thing about what is weak in you,
Yeah.
acknowledge it, and then only improve. At first,
Yeah.
you get a bit uncomfortable, but then you feel that the more I realize the weakness in myself, the faster I grow. So I will actually keep asking lah, like, Erin, where do you think I can do better? Each session that I do done, like presentation, I'll ask my colleague or my friends or my client, in fact, about it. So that's how I help, and it really helps us. So I hope that everyone can also adapt that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jenny always work in like a team, like small team, and from there they actually learn from each other, which I think very, very good strategy. Hey,
Mm.
Jenny, let me ask you one thing. Like just now you mentioned about people get panicked when they listen to the announcement of our PM say 18th of March will be the first lockdown, and I think all of us is the first experience to it, right? So how, after that, I believe that okay, we actually quite as a team, we actually shift our mentality, our mindset to the so-called moving our job online pretty fast. Okay, probably in about a day or two. And
Mm.
I just want to ask you, the moment you close your first deal, right? How you close it? You close it via Zoom, or this buyer already wanted to buy even before MCO, they already show interest and they just buy, or how? What can you just explain further how you
Yeah.
close your first deal?
Okay. The first deal, okay, immediately after MCO started, right, there was a brief period that I'm like other people, like so scared. I don't know what to do. Everything has to move online. I'm so used to meeting people physically, and I'm already quite a shy person. I'm also even more camera shy. So I really worried lah. But what I feel immediately is if I don't do it, then doing something is better than doing nothing. So
Nothing. Yeah.
I started the thinking process where, okay, what does it take for me to close sales during MCO when the market is filled with uncertainty and fear? And then I realized that there's a period of time where people around me, everyone, I mean, almost lah, will be sharing things like, cannot do, cannot do. Or not just our industry, like any industry will say, oh, die lah, like that. So these are all the negative things. So I think the first step of it is to close your ears and filter off all these negative thoughts and believe that it will soon be over and anything is possible. So what I did was I look back to the history lah. Now, this is not the only crisis. 2008, 1997, and back in many centuries years ago, different crises happened at the same time together. Me, everyone. Yeah,
So
so people can go through it. So I believe I can do it. So that's the first point, right? Mindset. And then the second point is I think of what are the ways. So moving things online is the ways. So I am not very familiar with Zoom and talking in front of the camera. So I started practicing and taking action aggressively. And then how do I manage to close my first deal is the moment when MCO happened, I started building value first, send email about announcement, share them about maybe not selling straight away the first 2 weeks, and then I share them about project and invite them. So through the Zoom session, I don't push them product, but I do a lot of knowledge sharing to share to them the current situation about the economy, the property market, and they kind of appreciate it. So the branding, the trust is there lah. But most importantly is being genuine. I
So
know
can I
what.
just say that you are like more to like value giving first? You give value, and then eventually you actually don't sell through online. I think the way to use the words is actually you share, and then they are interested in what you are sharing, and then you bring them to the Zoom presentation, and eventually they found that this is something right for them to buy, and
Mm,
eventually they go for it, right? So I
yeah.
think I think you point out very important thing. Let me summarize to all the audience out there. By the way, we have like a lot of viewers right now. We have about 30 plus 40 viewers right now. What you can help me to do one thing, help me to share this out because like Jenny really shared a lot of important point. How she really close to you. I'm sure that a lot of people wanted to know, right? So just help me to share this out, okay? And so that we can benefit many more people out there. Now, let me do a summarize of what did Jenny point out just now. Is like very important because uh if you think that I want to close small deal, I want to close small sales, like what you have in your mindset is I want to close, I want to take the
Mm,
money, earn the
mm,
commission. Whenever you have that kind of mentality, right, it's very funny that you will find that you won't get buyer. The buyer will actually like it won't appear right in front of you, and you'll feel that how come like other people are closing deal but I'm not, right? That's
yeah.
because your mindset have give you the wrong direction because you want to close. You want to earn commissions, right? However, when you shift your mindset just a little bit, by just a little bit, what you can bring out to people, example, what are the value, what are the
Mm,
knowledge that you can share out to people, right? So you
yeah.
see, people always have that kind of mentality, right? Like,
Mm,
hey, what I can learn from you. Hey, in fact, your sharing really benefited me, and then I learned something. So
mm,
from there, I get to know you, I see you, I get to know you, and then I
mm,
start to trust you, and that's very important because you give me knowledge, even though I'm not your buyer. You give me knowledge, and then maybe after a while, I start to like, hey, I want to know more about this project, and you can always bring me to the Zoom,
mm,
which I will always say yes because I want to know more. So
mm.
I think that when the mentality, when the process is right, the same process, if you go over and over again, it will only generate like positive result, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, like, it's like after so many weeks, I lost count like how many weeks already. Like I think we are like more than 7, 8 weeks. Okay. And right now we are like in a new even like we are almost the last day of CMCO, right?
Mm.
How do you see the market have changed and adapt to the new normal? Like, Zoom is our new normal and all this. How do you see the market has adapted to it?
Right. I think the market, right, in terms of the buyer's market and the property agent, consultant, or agency market, or even the entire property developer, agency, and buyer has changed tremendously because the adaptability of digitalization wasn't that much before, and because of MCO, everyone was
Or
stuck at home, bored,
move
and
a
then
little bit faster?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Move a little bit faster than usual to
yeah.
online. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, move a little bit faster. It pushes everything online, and then everyone is Facebook sharing live, So that one actually brings the adaptability pace to increase, and that's on the buyer market. People are more used to learning things online, buying things online, and in fact, in property market also, which something that we may not thought would happen. Now we all thought that to buy property, you need to go to that physical show unit and take a look. But
Yeah.
turns out, surprisingly, everyone accepted that also. All over online, you can just make booking as long as the location is right and you present it correctly. Yeah.
In
And
fact,
then
we have a lot of things to help us also, like 360 and all this.
yes, the developer side also push a lot of online tools to help us, like virtual tour, and that really helps a lot. So you can see the buyer, the entire market, even the way we do things are different. And I will say that because of that, after the entire MCO, right, when we are now out, we can go out already. Now, yes, we can do things like before, but it add another new channel. So
Yeah.
now people believe that, hey, I can actually do things online. I don't really have to meet people physically. Like even like meetings, right? Now you will give it a thought. Yeah, I can actually do it over Zoom. So why would I waste my time to go over, waste petrol and so on? So I believe moving forward, it will make things more effectively. effective because you can do things physical, I mean traditional way and online. So a lot of things that can be more productive, more effective, and faster that sense. And can everything can be done more creative way. In terms of us, our online, our marketing can be very creative as well. Yeah.
So what are the opportunity that you see? Ever since we adapt to the new normal, we are like a little bit more digitalized right now compared to those days. And we are right now practicing our new normal. And do you see any opportunity that open up for you?
Yeah, definitely. I will again, like the mindset, it has always been kept into meeting people one to one, or even meeting. If you want to do it in group, you have to invite a bunch, and then cost incurred. But right now, I can do one Zoom meeting, and I can share things to a group over Zoom. So that is opportunity to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
1 hour, I can
Yeah.
meet so many people. I can do 2 hours to meet, like double up my productivity.
And I think that our evening time is like also making use you. I mean, of course, we don't do it every day, but occasionally, if we need it, we can always do Zoom section in this hour if our buyer need it, right? So I
Also,
mean, that you can only go to coffee shop. I mean, at this hour, where else you can go, right? Present
mm,
over there. But that also like you do it to one. But right now, you can actually have a Zoom session like presented to many, and yet we know that buyer is at a very relaxing mode to listen to you.
yes, and minimal effort from them also lah. Now it's easier because they would not have to. Oh yeah, I want to meet you. I need to go out to a place. No, I can be in my t-shirt and short just on the Zoom.
Yeah, just without a webcam on, right? By the way, let me ask you, like, since you met so many buyers, okay, during this MCO period, and after the MCO, right now we are at CMCO, how do you look at the buyer perspective towards the market? How do you still see buyer buying? Like, what is the take from you?
Mm, because in this kind of market, right, of course there will be definitely fear, but for us, right, we need to understand that under a market like that, there will always in a normal market or poor market or bad market, right, there will always be a market that will be interested. It's just that how we reach to it. Like I've been learning a lot over an MCO period, and I know that the way to identify market, right, by at this timing is actually there are two groups. In any timing, there is economy wise, there are two types: internal economy and external economy. You know,
Mm,
like
mm,
even in good times, right? When they ask, when we ask them, is it a good time to buy property? No, it really depends on whether you have a strong internal economy or not, right?
mm,
If you don't have a strong internal economy, even in good times, really good times, then honestly, I would advise you not to go into one because you are not strong yourself. So your priority should be into how to increase your income, increase your sources of income, lah, that improving yourself. But there will always be another group of people that are stable, more stable, or in fact cash rich, and that kind of people are waiting for opportunities. So then we will go into that market and share to them what are the current opportunities available in the market. In every crisis, there will be always opportunities. Like crisis like that, the first party that is being hit will be the business people, and the business people means selling products and everything, and they will be desperate in sales, desperate for sales. So these are the time where they will come up with um, better packages, new offer, or whatever it is. Yeah, and that creates a buyer's market environment. So if the market belongs to the second economy, second category, right? Or maybe home buyers, stable one. Sooner or later, I'm going to get a home anyway. Isn't this the good time where I have more better package, and the environment, like the authority, the government will amend a lot of policies to spur up the economy, like drop of interest rate, now lifted the LTV. There are more possibility, more things that you can leverage on. So I will then share with all these people, and they appreciate it.
yep,
And
yep.
it is all very transparent. It's not about any marketing strategy because over the history it has been proven crisis, that's where you find opportunity. So all I have to do is reach out to them, share them the facts, and also show them the current situation and the opportunities. Yeah.
I think thanks to technology, thanks to all the information has been there around, and people has been learning that crisis is proven that you will find opportunities, and I think right now it's a lot more people coming out to find what is an opportunity available for them, and also they are ready to go ahead and they know this is like a bit of like planned crisis in the way that they announce, okay, and then the government is helping us to run through the crisis together, like the moratoriums, okay, of course, like what you said just now, that lower down the OPR rates, and then like all this lifted out the LTV just to make out the spur up the economy. I mean, things happen, like COVID-19 happens, you can't run away from that. But after that, it's actually the whole nation, the whole world, we are recovering together. I think that is the beauty of this recession, right? I mean, they say this is crisis. This is the beauty of this crisis is that everyone went through together. It's a whole world thing, and we actually went through it together. Okay, so I think that you mentioned the internet economy is like more to like the personal finance thing, right? Like let's say if even though the big environment is encouraging people go to buy, even the whole economy, everyone is talking the economy is very good right now, but some of them also like lost their job even though the economy is good. Okay, and someone told me that even the economy go good, someone also get bankrupt. But even the economy can be very worse, but some of them also make millions out of it. So it really depends on the personal finance and how you manage your personal finance. That very important, because it may be a right time to buy property. However, the bank don't give you the loan. Okay, bank disagree to give you the loan due to your personal finance. And too bad, the good time may not, you can't enjoy it. Okay, so I think the best time to buy property is whenever the bank allow you to get the loan and you spot a good opportunity and just take it, because you won't know, like the third property go like 70%, although now it's lifted out, but you won't know what it. You have to go back to the normal. So, Jenny, let me ask you a few more questions. I think that our audience are getting more interesting in what you're sharing. Like, do you want to share a little bit more? Because I think that I get to know you and you share to me about mindset and all these things. I think that you really try to control it very well, like in terms of how you, because I think that I do agree that mindset really control one person in terms of personality, in terms of that person's actions, right? Do you want to share more? How does mindset really help you?
Okay, I think I'm always a strong believer of controlling your mindset lah, because over the journey of any journey, right now in the sales career, right, we will actually, life is always up and down. We will always go through a lot of setbacks, and first thing first, I think you have to believe that if people can do it, if someone in the world today can do it, I can do it as well. So I'm always open-minded, like what are the things that I can still improve on, and I'm quite open to learning. I like learning new things. So having the strong mindset of believing yourself helps a lot. Then the second thing is like the courage of acknowledging your weakness, that the previous topic that we were talking, that is also very, very important. That helps me to grow a lot lah. And then also another thing is emotions. Putting emotions aside and just think logically whenever things happen, right? Just think logically and find out the solution, and always understand that setbacks are not failure. It's just part of process lah. I mean, I do have really huge challenges, and then it really brings me down for a while, but after that I was like, okay, this is just part of the process, and then I'll ask myself, what can I learn from this? Sometimes it's just
Because
mistake.
you don't see it as a failure, it is not a failure. It's just like a process. It's just a part of it. Like it's a learning process, am I right? You just see it as a learning process. It's an opportunity for you to learn in a different way, and eventually you gain something from it, right? However, if you're just jumping with the emotion, all you get to do is just blaming or complaining, all the negative things start to come in, and you'll be staying there. The emotion will be there, and you just can't run away.
It doesn't bring you
Yeah,
like
it's good.
I always say like think about it. If it doesn't matter 5 years from now, don't think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't
So
dwell so much on it.
let me ask you a few more questions. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure that right now there's a lot of agents out there that are looking at
Mm.
this, looking at our live show,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that some of them are actually getting lost. Like hey, MCO. I mean, expecting things doesn't go in the way that what we used to be, and now
Yeah.
it's like new normal. A lot of buyer may not want to came out, and how do I need to make myself back on tracks, okay, or just adapting to the new normal? Is there any advice that you can give to all the agents
Yeah.
out there like this? Yeah.
I can totally 100% relate to that because
Yeah.
I once also got stuck for a while and don't know what to do about it. But I found out a way that really helped me a lot. I think I can share with all of you is to just write down a plan, right? A very clear plan of what you need to do the next day, like before bed. So you never allow yourself a time where you just sit down and don't know what to do. Yeah, because that is very dangerous. So you just tell yourself, okay, tomorrow, the first thing is maybe 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. What do I do? Fill in the gap, and it has to fill in activity because what I find is that action or activity can help you to kill the fear feeling.
I think the progress, lah. As long as you're in the progress of something else, the
Yeah,
fear of failing is actually slowly removed away because you start to see things happening, things are
mm,
responding, things
correct.
are result are showing. Even though
Yeah,
you may not go 100% result, but you are getting on right track as like buyer are start to
mm,
responding to your ads. Buyer are
yes,
starting to
yes.
say yes to your appointment, and
Mm-hmm.
as long as the progress is there, you're on the right track, and that is what most important. However,
Yeah,
if you're there looking at all the negative side, like you're not progressing, you're like
yeah.
sitting there just to see things are getting into new normal, you're not ready yet, so
Mm.
you create more fears, right?
Right, correct. Yeah, that's what I find also. And then slowly I put down a timetable and I just do it like in 9 to 10. What do I do? 10 to 11. What do I do? So
Yeah,
even though it does not generate direct sales,
yeah.
but at least I'm doing something. So I keep the energy uh, on the positive side. And another thing is perhaps talk to people that can help you, mentors, leaders, and ask them to give you advice. Yeah, that really helps me.
Hey, I
Yeah.
also got to know you, Jenny. You're also a YouTuber. I mean, like you started to have a YouTube channel like 1 years ago. You want to share a little bit of this journey?
This journey. Oh, okay. Actually, I underestimated the power of the social media. I really underestimated that. To me, again, I think I share with all of you, I'm a really shy person. So I did it for a very self satisfaction purpose. I just wanted to challenge myself and see, hey, maybe I can do it also. So I just put up a video up there and seriously, I underestimated this because the exposure is so great. Because at one point of time, right, when I meet a person, this person brought a friend, okay, and then this friend say, "Hey, I know you. I saw you before." So I was quite shocked because this is a total stranger, even from outstation. So then I started to believe, wow, online marketing really works. It gives you a greater exposure and you don't know how far it can reach. Unlike if you depend on your physical side self, meeting people, you probably have to travel to there, meet the people, break the ice. But if I do it online and share values like that, wow, the opportunity is great.
Yeah.
So I find that opportunity really great, and IQI and my leader platform give me a lot of advice and support on that. So I grow tremendously here. I also got some leads here, and that helps me directly on sales. So of course, maybe I need to do more of that in the future. Uh, I am only doing. I would say that I haven't full force yet, but I can see result already. So moving forward, I'll be doing more of this online. Yeah. So that's my journey. I think um, like a shy person, extremely shy person like me can do it. I think anyone can do it.
Yeah. That's why I pin your Facebook, just there like
Yeah,
channel.
follow
And
me.
what you need to do, just follow, but not now. Jenny will have a lot more to share with you. And later on after this session, you can feel free to click in and follow Jenny channels. And I believe that you see a lot of her videos that I think is also part of the journey that she is in this industry. Lah, okay. And
Thank you.
just now you mentioned about IQI, you mentioned about Elite, you mentioned about platform. Do you see like IQI and Elite team that really, leverage you get a lot of leveraging from it, and then like probably achieve the success of today's success?
Yeah, definitely. I would really want to thank IQI for the platform because IQI creates a culture where you can there is a culture where you can learn from each other. That's one thing, a very good culture, family culture. The other thing is in terms of the exposure. The exposure is so great, and if you guys have heard over the news, right, you will know that IQI is now partnered with the largest China's property website. So you can see that moving forward, right, your exposure, I mean, for us, our exposure, who says that we just limit to this area? No, we can actually have the flexibility and we can have the option to grow our business to international market. And that really is really exciting. And then in terms of the culture, every week we have trainings, and even like during the entire MCO, I really appreciate IQI for giving a lot of live session, educating us, keeping our spirit up, and that's one thing. And then Elite also, I mean, the leaders are very talented. So the reason, one more reason I came in is because of the culture lah, where everyone is okay with sharing things and motivating each other. So
Yeah,
that
I think right now you play that role, like you're the one that's sharing, and a lot of others are learning from you as well. I think this culture I really appreciates. Like sometimes some others can be the teachers of us, and someday we can be other teachers, other people teachers to see. So we actually learn from each other, we grow each other out, and I really appreciate the whole team, the whole company culture that we protect this culture together until today, and it's something that I'm really proud of as well. Hey, Jenny,
thank you,
I,
Aaron.
yeah, I think one more thing, right? I'm sure that there'll be somebody that you really want to thank and appreciate, right, throughout this journey. Is there someone in your mind that you want to extend your gratitude to?
Yeah, I would have to name, I have to put up names, yeah.
Yeah,
So first of all, of course, my family lah, they have always been
of course.
supporting me, my parents, yeah. But there are few people that I really want to point out the name. Although I'm not directly under them, we are all under Elite IQI. So
Mm.
I wanted to point out my direct leader, Dave Chong. I'm not too sure if he's watching this. Yeah, Dave Chong is really knowledgeable. So I learn a lot from him. Yeah, he's very humble in terms of sharing. Yeah, and I pick up a lot. Anything I don't know, I just reach out to him. And another few person, when I came in as a newbie, right, there are few people that I look up to. I'm not directly under them. As I said earlier, I'm shy, so I hide in the corner and observe. So there are a few role models. The first person will be Wayne Lim. Wayne Lim.
Okay.
Yeah, Wayne Lim is such a top closer. So I really admire his spirit. I mean, that time we were marketing for Salon's Bukit Bintang project, and I learned so much about the team spirit, about his fighting spirit. He can
Yeah, yeah,
achieve impossible, one day about 10 over units, I remember. Yeah,
yeah.
so that spirit helps me a lot. And every time he does sharing, right, the fastest way for me to learn is I put up the earbud and I listen over and over again the presentation. Then I meet my client, and that helps me a lot. And then another person will be our property guru, Tony Yap. Yeah,
Okay.
I also learn a lot from him on the online exposure, especially, and also property knowledge. And none other than Aaron, of course.
Thank
Aaron,
you
you
so
give
much.
me a very good platform, really. I think that I also meet you personally. Sometimes we met once in the what is it, Bangsa. We
Yeah.
talk about team building and the industry challenges, and you gave me very very sincere advice on that. So the entire support from the system and the team was great. So even though I'm not always at daily reporting or following you, right? But I also learned so much. And you don't know, actually, sometimes you do live. I've been spying.
Wow, thank you so much. Anyway, I think that sometimes, as I said, we just continue doing, and I'm really glad that I still remember that sharing that we have it in Bangsa. So
Mm,
I think eventually, what they, I mean, like we also, I mean, you yourself also are putting your own knowledge to inspire other. I think that is the beauty part. Like we don't, I mean, the knowledge won't stop there. If it really stop in you, it actually don't flow out. Like
yeah,
it will stop in you, but once you flow up, you're actually getting more come back to you. I mean, that's the beauty part of the culture that we have, a sharing culture.
yeah,
I think that like I'm sure that a lot of people right now because of COVID-19, maybe some of them lose their job, some of them the income being affected, or some of them maybe are looking for plan B,
mm,
and they might actually considering whether or not they should come into real estate, as a newbie, as totally new. And what are your advice to all these people? They're probably sitting on the bench, like thinking, whether should I in, or whether suitable to me, because I think you also share that you also came from a really shy personality and you came into sales and all this. But I'm sure that
yes.
there's some message for them, and is there any words for them or not?
Yeah. To me, when you're new, a lot of things that you may not know.
Yep.
So I think the first point to correct or maybe implant is the right mindset. So let's not stop ourselves from saying that I can't do this, I can't do that. Yeah, I used to say that like I cannot go online, I cannot do live, but I did it. I did it as well. So you need to remove that cap first, and then you need to believe that you can do it. So another thing is you need to have the uh, ability to learn to accept changes. For example, if the market change, online marketing works, do it, learn it from the master, and then just put into action. You may not do a very good job at first, but at least you start. Yeah, so keep doing, and then um also not to be too sad or too emotional about something, because I believe that if it doesn't look good now, it's not the end. Yeah, it's not the end. So I think you can always find ways to push through and find solution, and that really helps me. I'm still learning. I mean, from all the leaders here, thank God I have really good leaders. Yeah. And next will be, yeah, it's just thinking that, every crisis there's opportunity. When things happen like that and you have to start all over, or whatever situation you are, this is an opportunity. Yeah, this is an opportunity for me to grow, and that really helps me a lot. So I think these are the few things. And then of course another one is importance in execution. If you have the strongest mindset ever and you don't execute, then you will not go anywhere as well.
Yep.
So yeah, so I hope that I think I hope my sharing helps. I'm still learning and improving myself lah. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I think that if you are really keen to understand further about our industry, how Jenny can actually does it, I think you can comment BOP. You can comment BOP down there, and we'll get somebody to contact you and get you to help you to know more. And Jenny is also part of the leaders that he also leading a small team. Okay, and I think that Jenny was also able to help out as well. And yeah, I think one is there any message, just to inspire all our audience out there? If you have any message just to share with them, that
Mm.
some of them are feeling lost, or some of them wanted to know more, get more, or do more, achieve more, and is there any message that you want to give to all our audience out there?
Um, I think whatever industry you are from,
Mm,
uh, whenever you feel lost, right? I think first thing is to always don't keep it to yourself.
mm,
Talk to someone, ask for advice, but the person that you ask the advice is really important. Yeah, you got to find a mentor that really can enlighten you on that, and do not dwell too much on, again, we mention it a lot. Try not to dwell too much on emotion, but really focus on solution instead. and always have a strong mindset and always believe that setbacks are not failures, it's just a process. Yeah, always tell that. I mean, even whatever things that I went through not so good things also, I will always tell myself it is just part of the process, learning process.
Just
So I
trust
think,
the process, right?
yeah, I
You
think
won't
with
know, you don't know how it bring you further and how it make you learn in different ways. Eventually, what you see is all the good things, after that.
yeah, always ask. I mean, everything happened for a reason. Always ask yourself, what can I learn from this, and how can I grow from there? I think that helps me a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing insight. We have came to like 50 minutes of sharing. Initially we were talking about 30 minutes, but now it's like almost double the time. But like I really learned and inspired from what Jenny has shared. And it's like, yes, I get to know Jenny. Like she's really shy. She's always like hiding in the corner kind of person. Where we get to know each other I mean, that was a few years ago. But now she's like, she having friends everywhere. She's talking. She's right in front camera. She's having her own YouTube channel. Can you imagine that? And I think that is actually a courage for all of us, right? Just to go for a biggest breakthrough. If you want to do something, just do it. If you want to do something, lay out a plan and stick to the plan and really turn it into actions. And then you start to see results flowing in. So
Yeah.
focus on the right thing. And yes, just like what Jenny said, trust the process. Sometimes the process may go wrong in your own interpretation, but after the process happened, right, you actually turn out to be your biggest lesson. You learn something from there. And because of this thing, you may able to avoid biggest mistake in the future, right? So whenever you go through, sometimes it may not be happy experience, but that experience can be your great lesson, okay? And sometimes all the happy thing it become a good memories. So in regardless what are the things that you're going through, okay? And even though right now we have this COVID-19 MCO, CMCO, or what in the futures, right? Like trust me, just go with your feeling, put everything into the plan and just to move on, progress and progress. And lastly, what you see,
Yeah.
all the good thing, the result. Am I right?
Correct. I really agree on what you say. Progress is everything.
Yeah. So thanks for everyone that joining us. Thanks for everyone who commenting and also help us to share this video out. And if you really want to learn all about our industry, just comment BOP. And I think that we learned a lot from Jenny sharing. Right. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Jenny.
so much, Aaron. I learned a lot from you too.
Thank you, and thanks to all the audience out there. And I think tonight is a really great night that we have Jenny to share with how she actually managed to close. I think she closed 5 years. I didn't mention that she closed 5 years throughout the MCO, and I think it's incredible. And thank you so much. And we shall end our session right now. Thank
Right.
you.
Bye bye.